What's up, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Here with Jared. Jared, tell them what they need to do for the Happy Pill YouTube channel.
Like, comment, subscribe. What's the next one?
What's the fourth one?
Huh?
Oh, shit. What's the last one?
I don't know. What is it?
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a beginner. He's got to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.
Ah, share. I forgot about share.
Share. No, we said share. Leave a comment.
Okay, leave a comment.
Yeah, check the video description for excellent Happy Pill gear like this rash guard right here. This is the New York Happy Pill edition, also IBJJF approved for blue belts.
This is the best gear in New York City. You're not going to get better than this.
Jared knows what's up. Like, share, subscribe.
Almost everybody in here is so consistent. When you're so consistent, I could feed a lot of good drills to you. So I really want to. Because there's different levels of the room, and for the people that are a bit more advanced could come so much, I need to combo moves together. Right? And then maybe for the people who are just starting out, don't get to come that often, work, schedules and stuff, we'll just keep it to one move, right? And I'll explain right now. I've been working all of these elbow grabs and heisting the guy up in the air. And then this past couple of classes, then I started working legs. And I'll show you what I mean, because I want you to do 3 moves, okay? All for the same one, right? You were like this, right? And you either had these elbows or you got inside this pocket. And now the first one was, we picked him up, right? We drove him up like this. And I said to you in this one that we were going to kill this spacing and float him out and attack the arm. So we were like this. Hopefully we could grab our hands together. And now what I was going to do is just extend one leg and isolate this shoulder. So this is all I did. I got this grip. He drives back in. And now I throw him over, okay? Okay, back up again, right? Same position, okay? You're like this, I'm here, and now the same thing. I was diving in, I'm trying to pick him up, but as we're falling, he goes higher on me, right? He's like this. And I went, oh boy, he's really high up. I'm at his waistline, and he's about to most likely do some form of a float pass or drive this in and backstep and then pass me, right? So then at this point, I drop one leg down the center, and now I push out, and now I take this leg on that same reap that we did the other day, where I'm shelving the heel on the elbow cracks. I'm going into my heel hook, ending up on the other side, and finishing the heel hook on this side. Okay? Same position, right? Same entry, same exact entry, right? Then on the third one, why don't we mix this up on the third one? Okay, so we just went on the first one, we got the body, we floated, we isolated, we flew over. On the second one, it was the same entry. I pick up, and now he goes, oof, he's coming under me. He runs up on me, okay? So we'll switch out the third one. As I'm like this, or like this, so the third one, when I go yank him up, he's going to extend his arms, okay? Because he's going to keep countering my same entry. So I'm like this, trying to pick him up, throw him up, and he's like this. Remember what we do now. Just to recap, we went over this about 2.5 weeks ago. He's extending out, and I realized, damn, I can't get underneath. So I drop this grip and grab onto this grip, okay? And my first reaction is to bring my shoulder right here to the center because I want to hold on to this arm like this, okay? And now I have the arm. This arm is going to be in different positions at this point. We're going to say at this point, he's going to counter on me, okay? And most likely what I'm going to do is try to advance this grip, but he's going to counter on this, he's going to put his hand here. So we said when he counters, I counter back with this grip. So I overgrip and I lace this hand and I can drop this, but I own this hand. And now we said that he would run away. And I hope this all of you have been coming to class. And I only see a couple of faces that I hadn't seen repeatedly. At this point on this grip, I said you had to drop this grip because I couldn't advance this grip. So I grabbed onto his skull and I sucked myself back in, and now I go back into my reversal, and either I go back on the butterfly. I'm not going to ask you to go any further than that. I'll do it again. You had three moves, all of the same exact entry, right? And that's why, especially at the highest level, you know, Travis Stevens, at one time he used to come here. If you don't know who he is, multiple-time medalist in the Olympics. And, you know, he used to come to Montreal when we used to go to GSPs and all this stuff. And I just asked him one time, Travis, what do you know, like, what's this thing that separates this guy with this guy? He's like, whoever makes the grip, man, whoever makes the grip usually will win the match. And that's how BJJ is at the highest level. Whoever gets that grip usually gets that first entry, and now I can progress it. So same exact thing, we're like this. And now he didn't have thumb grips, right? So if he doesn't have thumb grips, I know he's, but I could also do this just to negate him. Where I go, oh, okay, now I got this arm, right? But I'm paying attention to what his grip positions are. So his grip position isn't this. He's over here grabbing my skull and all these things. I'm like this. He's got to go up in the air. If this is his grip, he's got to go up. There's no way you're going to tell me that you're going to do something else. You're going to come here and now start arm dragging with this one. You got to come underneath. He's giving you the look right now. So the 3 looks are all the same. The only thing different on the third one is he had thumb grips. So I know I can't lift him up, but I'll fake it and bait him with it so that he extends out, and then I'll counter again. So on the first one, whatever his grip is, okay? On the first one, we said we were going to reach in or lift. So on the first one, when I come underneath, I don't go that far. I wanted to get him up in the air, and I go slide underneath. He's like this. I grab on right away. As soon as I grab on, I said extend one leg, not both. You are not floating that guy that way. You're extending one. This leg does not move. So I kick him out with one. I've isolated the shoulder. We went through a whole sequence how I attack this arm. But on this one, he runs back. So on the run back, I throw him over, and now I'm mounted. Second one. Same exact entry. He's doing all silly grips on me, and he's like this. And I go, oh, I'm going to throw this guy up in the air. And this will happen for 2 reasons. One is you just got such deep entry, and now he lifts up and he counters because he realized he's way up in the air. And now I'm coming for the lower half, so he's going to start trying to pass me, right? I'm like this, and I go underneath. I go, okay, I got to come out this side right now. And now I just reaped him. I can straighten him out if I want. And now I'm on this leg, spinning over either heel hook or foot lock. Okay, same entry. And on the third one, you go a little bit slower. He's like this. I'm trying to lift him up in the air. He's doing this. This happens all the time in class. So I drop one and I grab on. As I grab on, I'm almost doing like a Russian. I'm taking this arm out. I would love to make a transfer now with this hand, but we're going to say he's going to counter back. I'm going to go, damn, I can't advance my second hand. So I take this hand and I loop it deep and I hook his forearm so I could drop. And now I can attack again. Obviously, I can lock this arm up in a reverse Kimura and take this arm if I need it, but I'm going to say, no. I'm not going to take this grip if he's running away from me. And now I'm going to be like this, trying to figure out what to do with this. So at this point, when I loop this hand, I grab this skull, and now I got great connection to him. Now I can slide back in underneath. And if I don't want to, I could start taking this leg out and start advancing this position this way to rechange my grips again. So there's a lot of combos I can do off of that one. Okay, so same thing. You're doing the same thing. Same exact thing. The only thing that changed was I was paying attention to the grips. Okay, I wasn't just trying to do a move. So you got 3 moves to do. That's part of doing. Ethan, I know Cynthia walks around and helps a lot of people. I always try to pick her mind. I can see the game in really slow motion. Like you watch, I'll tell you everything that happened in that round. She can also, like she sees that vision where she's always there watching privates, and then when people think that they did a move right, I go, no, your elbow wasn't to your knee and your hand wasn't here and all these things. And right away when I look at her, she knows. So I always recommend, if you could call it, but I wanted to talk about him. Is he always ookies for me? You know, he's around me all the time. Like, so going forward, he's not going to drill. He's actually going to walk around, so that I really want the room to rise together, and I won't leave anybody behind, because the better everybody gets in the room, the faster the higher level player has to react and get better and see more sequencing. So the room rises together. And anybody that's gone to a different academy, I mean, I don't name names, and he's not here today, but an instructor came from a very, very well-known academy in California. And he's a black belt, teaches there, and he came Friday and Saturday. And some of the young men that I told him, make sure you roll with him, because they didn't roll at any point. And afterwards, he said to me, after he didn't do very well. Like, I mean, the best he got was he just had a stalemate with some of the young purple belts in high-level blues. At the very end, he came to me on Saturday. He goes, man, those kids are incredible. Like, I go, yeah, I know. And he goes, man, those guys, black belts, browns, what are I go, no, I just gave them purples. And he go, just purples? I go, the best part is none of them have been doing BJJ 3 years. This guy's going on 20. And that's why the room rises together, right? So that's why, like, he didn't understand, like, it was just one round after the other, like, he couldn't take it. And that happened also on Friday night with another accomplished player, that by the end, he rolled with Ethan. It was just, it didn't go well. So the reason is the room rises together, but it's hard because you don't get enough looks, right? You drum with the same guy, you know his tendencies, he knows your, that's why I like, so going forward, just raise your hand, just raise your hand. I want everybody to get it, okay? Let's go through change the third move, okay? When you lift up and throw, right now, we attack this leg, but sometimes they're gonna run up on you and you're in a bad spot, and I'll mean what I mean by now. When I throw up like this, they go here and they run up and you're like, whoa, and now I don't know when I drop this if I can get the reap over the top. And now I'm about to get past, right? So the moment it happens, and I'm like, whoa, he's too high up, and he's gonna float me, right? And now I'm like stuck. So I'm gonna ask you at this point to take the outside hand. This is where we were. We wanted to bottle him up, grab onto him, isolate the shoulder. But I'm like this. And now by the time I go drop this, he's gonna run up on me, or or beat me on this back turn and slide me. There's a lot of different combos he can do on me. So the moment I land like this, I'm gonna ask you to take one hand and take it cross body just like this. And now I'm gonna tell you to take this hand and take this leg. So as we push him out, I'm over the top reaping this way. So as I'm not letting go of this leg. Secondly is, I want to pay attention to where this kneecap is. I do not want to lose the kneecap through the pocket, because the kneecap's going to go on the mat. He's going to backstep on me. And now we're like this, and I'm short on this, and it's not going to go well. Or we're going to go into a scramble, and it's not going to go where I want it to go. I'm like this. So as I push down that cross body, I hook this. I go over the top on a reap. I never let go of this leg. As I'm holding it with one, I'm shelving it with the other, so that as we come over the turn, I'm here ready to take this leg out and finish this heel again. Okay, so all we did was change the patterns, right? He countered by going a little bit further up, 4 inches. I always say it changes in 4 inches. So I go cross body on the lat, I hook the leg, right? So we just took this leg before. But now when I hike him up, I don't know how he's going to land. I don't know what this guy knows. I go underneath, and he knows I just went under, and he goes, I'm going to counter by running up on you. I better be prepared. So before I took this, but I couldn't reap him. And now you might say to me, well, you could have played X card. Potentially. I don't want to get, I could tell you this crazy description, but then I'll never get the class started, because depending on how I am with this kneecap on here, the move will change within like 2 inches and about a second, depending on how they land. We're not going to go there. In the future, if you, especially the high-level players, if I see them happening, then I'll point it out. But for right now, they're still in the learning stages. I'm like this, and now I go pull him up, just like we did before. I tried to do all of them. I went, oh boy. So my first reaction at this point, I want to put my hands, I touch this lat. So that now this hand was right here the whole time, because it was looking to grab on here. Only thing it did was drop. So I'm looking to reap this over the top again. So as I push this out, I'm over the reap. I never let go of this leg. I didn't let go of the kneecap. I'm hooked on the back second leg. So as I shell this underneath my armpit, it's ready to finish on the turn. Most likely you can finish it here. Most players will tap on it. Some players will fight to keep the turn going. If I land on the turn, as we're landing, I'm taking out the center leg to cross and finish over the top. Let's partner up. And the confusion is, when do I do the difference between the last three? Okay? And the last three usually is, let's say he throws him up and he goes on the reap. Throw him up in the air and go on a reap. All right? And he's like this, okay? And he's, yeah. Okay, come back again. Do the one where you kick out and reap. What ends up happening is that, let me in there for 1 second. Let me pick Sai up for a second. when I throw him up, right, everything was dependent on the reap so that I can buckle him and get to his ankle. But when I threw him up in the air like this, right, and if his groin's like this, how in the world am I going to take this leg and bring it all the way over? It's not going to make it over this top, right? And by that time, I know you'll see it, but you're going to tell me that he stood there for 2 seconds as I slid further down? It's not happening. It's just not happening. So now he's like this, so high up on my groin, and it's literally his groin, his stomach, everything's above me. So how could I have reaped that, right? Because I was like this, and by the time I dropped this, I can't get this leg over in time, right? So at that point, this is when this happens, that I'm like this, because I could have pushed this out and reaped this. And let's say that I couldn't. Let's just say, because we'll go through this a little bit later in the week. Let's say I couldn't reap, and I'm like, damn, all I have is this. I have a lot more than you think. I couldn't always drop this leg and straighten this guy out. And now as I straighten out, I have a full knee bar right here. I'm like this. If you're going to do your knee bar, try to get it on the inside, because then I'll stop his turn later. So I just pushed him out. I was like this. All I'm going to do is just this. I'm going to flip it over, and now I'm on a full knee bar. Or if I'm not on a knee bar and he starts bending this leg on me, I'm on a full heel. Like, I'm not letting go of this limb, right? So that's the question, is like, you know, sometimes when I say about read and reaction speed, that is the read and reaction speed that separates the elite from the elite. I mean, the elite from the good from the ordinary from the guy just starting out that maybe he's a purple belt, knows a lot of moves, but doesn't know how to react fast enough on the turns, right? That's read and reaction speed. So if his groin area is something, you got to start getting, that's why I have you drill them over and over, and why we started a certain way the other day, so that it starts to make this pattern in your head of like, oh man, when he's here, I can do this move, but he's like right here, I can't do that move. I'm not flexible enough. So what time is it, guys? Oh, you have about 3 minutes. I'll let you run through anything. On Friday, I'll recapture, and then I'll add again. Okay, but we're going to keep doing the drills. Everything, if you remember, everything over the last maybe about 5 or 6 weeks was all about me first entry, trying to get him up in the air, trying to grab his hand, trying to do, it was no separation. It was all the same attack from the bottom, just trying to get this guy up, trying to get this guy up, trying to grab his hands. Like, we're just ending up right here because I grabbed his elbows, and when I pulled, he didn't have thumb grips. So in the beginning, I was reading where his hands were placing. I wasn't just trying to go, well, I wonder how this is going to play out. No, I'm reading everything. Now, sometimes when I tell you about those stories about like teaching priors, and they want to go, give me guard defense, and I go, I see how they sit, and I go, I already passed you. And they go, we haven't started. And I go, no, it's the way you're sitting. It's not possible for you to recover faster. And that's what I mean by it, is you're really, when Gordon Ryan goes into a match, and you think that the match is developing a certain way. He's already reading with a hand. I know John. I know. It doesn't even go to, did you finish the move? He'll say to you, I'm going to take out the curse, but he'll say, what the F was that? And you'll think you did great because you finished the guy. Not in his world. In his world, it's like, you didn't capitalize on what was there in the very beginning. And that's why, like, he's like, that's who he is, man. He's great, man. He really is. You got about 2 minutes to drill. I talked a little bit too much, and then I'll give you the 90 seconds to take the break, and then we'll rock and roll. Let's do it, guys.